The Labour Party has set up a 7-member disciplinary standing committee to curtail the excesses of members not ready to abide by its constitution and obey directives. The national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, while inaugurating the committee on Tuesday in Abuja, said that the decision was one of the resolutions reached at the meeting of the National Working Committee of the party. Abure urged all members to play by the rules and pay respects to the national leadership of the party and respect the Labour Party constitution. And meanwhile, the meeting of the National Working Committee of Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party on Tuesday sparked a fresh altercation with the factional chairman, Callistus Okafor, declaring the meeting a nullity and lacking the power to do so. Okafor, in an interview with journalists in Abuja on Tuesday, insisted that the purported meeting by Julius Abure was illegal, saying he has no right to call for a National Working Committee meeting after his tenure expired. All right, I put a pause there, first of all. And concerning Labour Party again, they have been taking baby steps and sometimes falling, sometimes making progress. But we are expecting them to be as stable as the major parties in our country. And there has arisen an issue of how legal is the National Working Committee led by Julius Abure, and even the only governor that they have, Alex Otti, was about convening a National Executive Council meeting and was rebuked by Abure that he had done a national convention that was recognized. But INEC is saying that his tenure has expired. And now they have set up, first of all, a disciplinary committee. And I want to know, first of all, before we discuss about the faction, the disciplinary committee, where do you think might be the biting ache, the pinching ache that made him reach out for this medicine kit to be able to heal the painful part of he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. So, please.
Life abhors vacuum. And where there is vacuum, those who are wise will quickly feel it. All of these challenges that you see across the length and breadth of Nigeria, I can tell you that it's as a result of, by my estimation and reckoning, the failings of the judicature, the judiciary.
Okay.
The failings of the bar and bench. If you went to Kano State today, you found that there are 2 people contesting to be the king, the emir of Kano.
Exactly.
The case is lingering in perpetuity in the courts. If you went to Edo State today, you found that there are 2 people contesting to be deputy governors in Edo State. The court is addressing that in perpetuity. If you came to Rivers State today, you found that there are 2 houses of assembly. There is one that is saying, "Oh, I'm the right faction." The other is saying, "I'm the right faction." You found that the court again is addressing that in perpetuity. Even in Rivers State, you found a Tony Okocha saying that he's the legal chairman of APC. And you found an Emeka Beke saying, "Oh, the court already gave me the authority and already prohibited Tony Okocha from parading himself." The same court, the same system is failing to address this. So I've said all of this because I should emphasize that until we get it right with the courts, until we get it right with the judiciary, I'm afraid that all of these shenanigans that you see is not about to win. It's not about to go out. You'll find more of it in the body politics of Nigeria as we begin to edge towards election in 2027. The courts must come down. I think that what is before the current Chief Justice of the country, Kekere Ekun, is quite enormous. She must be able to rein in everybody to say, the entire country, the weight of the entire country is on us. Gentlemen and ladies, we must give direction to these politicians. We must rewrite what is right. We must redefine what is right. We must recalibrate what is right for Nigerians. Otherwise, we are fast sliding into the abyss as a people and as a country. We are fast sliding into it. I'm not going to speak to the issues because it's the same thing that you see in Nasarawa State, the same thing that you see in Kano State, the same thing that you see in Benue State, the same thing that you see across the entire country, where you have two people, the press will address one as factional leader, will address the other one as the second factional leader. Even the press is helping to complicate the issue because they are not looking at the judgment from court. Yesterday I was listening to a radio station here in Rivers State where a journalist was saying to someone who came to represent Tony that he's a factional leader. And I was miffed. The court, as we know today, already gave a judgment and said they were prohibiting these people from going on and addressing themselves in any manner or form or fashion to suggest that they are the escorts of APC. That judgment, they just went to court to address it, to put a stay. The stay has not come out. They've not got a superior judgment. It therefore means journalists cannot address them as factional leaders. Okay. Journalists must stay to what the court has said. But guess what? Journalists in our state, Rivers State, in our country, they are still helping to perpetuate this aberration. They are still helping to perpetuate this evil in our land by addressing.
Bad news is good news?
No. Even if bad news is good news, I thought that as journalists, your duty would be to address the issues as they are, and not because of sensationalism. If there were people on the social media platform that wanted to do that and wanted to say, oh, because the NEC already authorized Tony to be the chairman. Who is the NEC? Is the NEC the court? It didn't even matter if the president was the one who spoke from his seat and said, Tony, you are the one that must be the chairman. As long as the judgment of the court has not been upturned, why should you as a journalist be addressing him as a chairman? And these are the issues. This is why today we have these plenty aberrations across the divide. The court must therefore come down, come hard on politicians, and I'm afraid that it doesn't look like they're even going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to summon enough courage to be able to address that in any distant future. But if the celestial and the terrestrial we are to get them to do it, Nigeria will start moving. Nigeria will start, getting fixed again. As it were today, until the court is ready to act. Abure will be acting, the other guy will be acting, and you will find this kind of discordant tune, discordant voicing, discordant action in the body politic of Nigeria, as long as the court will not address it properly.
Okay, the Callistus led faction is also having a backing and the tacit support from the Nigerian Labour Congress body that has been attached to the affairs of the Labour Party. And are we trying to say at this point now that the Labour Party may not be able to survive what this onslaught is about to unleash on her? Or the Labour Party is just going through one of those teething problems and will come out stronger and better?
The Labour Party is the child of the Nigerian Labour Congress. Let that be made known and clear.
Why should it be so?
The Labour Party is the child of the Nigerian Labour Congress. Every Nigerian who doesn't know this is either too politically naive or playing to the gallery.
But both of them.
Labour Party came as a result of certain decisions that were reached and taken by the Nigerian Labour movement. Go everywhere in the world where you have Labour Party. It's an adjunct to the Labour movement in that country. The Labour Union is the parent body of Labour Party. Take it anywhere you want to take it to. Forget all of these semantics that you hear everywhere.
Well, Nigerian Labour Congress is not supposed to be involved in politicking.
Who says? What are they supposed to be involved in? I don't understand why they are not supposed to be involved in politicking. Why should a Labour movement not be involved in politicking? Directly or indirectly? I do not understand. What law prevents a labor movement from being involved in politicking? So we should leave politics to these hawks. We should leave politics to these political vultures that you have everywhere. People who do not understand what it means to labor. People who just sit down and they are allocating several allowances to themselves in billions. They are allocating allowances even to pay their aides, and they do not have the number of aides. Go look at the budget and see the number of aides by the amount that they have allocated for the salaries for their aides. If you calculated that as against the amount that was budgeted, you found that the National Assembly should have nothing less than 20,000 aides.
Whoa.
Should have nothing less than 20,000 aides. 20,000 aides for who? Now doing what? But guess what? They are allocating wardrobe allowance. They are allocating furniture allowance. They are allocating newspaper allowance. The newspaper that they no longer read. They are allocating all sorts of allowance. You expect the labor, the people who grind every day, who ensure that the Nigerian economy is moving, you expect them to sit at Akimbo or stand at Akimbo and be observing from a distance how these hawks and vampires and vultures that are politicians, how they are going to help to suck Nigeria down and suck Nigeria down. What is the law that prevents the labor? The labor therefore decided to throw their heart into the ring to say, we may not do it directly, but we are going to, like it's done everywhere else in the world, like it's done in Great Britain, we are going to give favor, we are going to give backing, we are going to help propel this party. And they bested a good party. They began to feed the party. But again, the hawkish tendencies that you have in Nigerian politicians, that the Labour Party is not immune from, crawled while the people were sleeping at night. It crawled into the Labour Party. The Bible addresses it. That when men of this are sleeping at night, you know, the bad people came to sow tares, you know, in the vineyard and all of that. Yeah. This is exactly what happens in our political party, and that's what is happening in Labour Party. The Labour Union must therefore sit up. They must sit up and pursue politicians politically. I have addressed this recently when I said where the current governor of Rivers State is sitting was where Wike sat. And Wike was able to wield the much influence that he has today. The same position as a governor. The governor currently is sitting on that position and is crying. To my reckoning, I have said to people that they must say to him that what Wike did and what Wike knows, he must begin to pursue it. Until he is able to pursue the protocols that are open to politicians to do, to have a stronghold, he's going to keep crying. I'm also saying to the NLC, you must do what politicians do. Okay. Until you do what politicians do, the Labour Party is going to be taken away from you people, and Nigeria will go back to the fate of APC and PDP like it used to be.
If Joe Ajaero happens to come out for president, using the Labour Party as instrumentally, because I think that might be one of the causes of the conflict there, because the Labour Party under Abure has just perpetually given it over to Peter Obi to come for 2027 presidential candidate.
Not essentially, even because the Abure faction is not even in sync with Peter Obi, because there were certain things that Peter Obi had said to the Abure faction to do. Okay. There were certain things that Peter Obi had suggested that the Abure faction is not even doing. Peter Obi is supposed to be the political leader of Labour Party today. Yeah. But how many people in the divide, in the two zones or the two factions, how many of them are ready to even listen to Peter Obi? They all come grandstanding. The Abure faction, they all come. If you forgot very quickly, it was the reason this man who was supporting Peter Obi tendered the resignation to say that Peter Obi had advised severally, but Peter Obi is not firm enough to be able to rein them in to say, this is what will happen. Otherwise, I pull the rug off all your feet. I go and meet the man in Abia State and say, come on, let us import. Let us move to a different political party. I take all the sponsorship away from you people. Are you people going to be able to survive? But guess what? Peter Obi is a gentleman who is not ready to play politics the way politics is known to be played in Nigeria. Otherwise, he would have reined in all these people. You see, the same spirit that infected, or the same disease that infected the PDP, that has affected and infected the APC,
Yeah.
has easily crawled into Labour Party, because this is Nigeria. And if the courts and the political leaders in Labour Party will not do what must be done, the Labour Party is going to share the same fate.
So Joe
with the
Ajaero
APC.
can go for president if you want.
Absolutely. All you will need to do is to resign. Did you not see how a former Labour leader contested to be the governor in Edo State?
Exactly.
Adams Oshomole rode on unionism to become.
Yeah.
Did you also not see how Peter Esele of TUC, how he went and contested also as this thing? There's nothing stopping you essentially from contesting, because the law outlines clearly what you must possess or what you must not possess to be so qualified to contest for office or to be so disqualified. If you had all of the things that qualifies you, you therefore can stand election. And Joe Ajaero is not one that is infirmed. He's not one that cannot think. He's not one that has been imprisoned or has been sentenced, before. It's not all of those things that prevent you from contesting. You can't find them with Joe Ajaero. So nothing prevents him from standing. And I don't understand why journalists keep saying, why should those in Labour be in politics? Why shouldn't they be in politics? Why shouldn't journalists be in politics? Why shouldn't pastors be in politics? Why shouldn't everybody be in politics? If politics essentially is about getting to office to change the fate of the people, why shouldn't everybody be in office?
Good one. All right.